Hello everyone, welcome back. This episode of Politics of Britain will focus on the government. Starting off, we will talk about the Right Honourable Sir Keir Starmer MP. Sir Keir Starmer holds the posts of the Prime Minister, the First Lord of the Treasury, Minister for the Civil Service and Minister for the Union. The Prime Minister is the leader of His Majesty's government and is ultimately responsible for the policy and decisions of the government. As leader of the UK government, the Prime Minister also oversees the operation of the civil service and government agencies, chooses members of the government, and is the principal government figure in the House of Commons. The First Lord of the Treasury is one of the Lords Commissioners of the Treasury. This role is usually held by the Prime Minister. Since the 17th century, the Lords Commissioners of the Treasury have collectively carried out duties that were previously held by the Lord High Treasurer, which was the head of His Majesty's Treasury. The Lords Commissioners of the Treasury also include the Second Lord of the Treasury, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, who has most of the functional financial responsibilities. Junior Lords Commissioners of the Treasury, other members of the government, usually government whips in the House of Commons. And a little known fact is that 10 Downing Street is the official residence of the First Lord of the Treasury and not of the Prime Minister. The Minister for the Civil Service is responsible for regulating the civil service. The Civil Service Management Functions Act of 1992 allows the Minister for the Civil Service to delegate power to other ministers and devolved administrations. This role was created in 1960 and is always held by the Prime Minister. As Minister for the Union, the Prime Minister works to ensure that all of government is acting on behalf of the entire United Kingdom. England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. The Right Honourable Angela Rayner MP holds the posts of Deputy Prime Minister and Secretary of State for Housing, Communities and Local Government. Angela deputises for the Prime Minister, including on House of Commons business and at Prime Minister's questions. Domestically, including official events at which the Prime Minister is unable to attend, and chairing meetings or committees in his absence. Internationally, at diplomatic events where the Prime Minister is unable to attend, and generally acting in support of the government's international agenda. They also support the Prime Minister on government policy and delivery and in any other responsibility agreed. The Deputy Prime Minister also has special responsibility for employment rights and making work pay, including chair of the Cabinet Committee on the Future of Work, ensuring cross-government delivery of the New Deal for Working People, cross-governmental coordination of community policy, including the Task Force on Community Cohesion. Now, the role of the Secretary of State for Housing and Housing, Communities and Local Government includes strategic oversight of departments' business and policy, including housing and planning, local government and English devolution, regional and local growth, communities and faith, democracy and elections, public appointments, tackling homeless and rough sleeping, including chair interministerial group on homelessness and rough sleeping, cross-governmental coordination of policy to tackle homelessness and rough sleeping. The Right Honourable Rachel Reeves MP holds the post of Chancellor of the Exchequer. The Chancellor of the Exchequer is the government's chief financial minister and such is responsible for growing the UK economy, raising revenue through taxation or borrowing, and for controlling public spending. She has overall responsibility for the work of the Treasury. The Chancellor's responsibilities cover delivering the government's growth mission, fiscal policy, including presenting the annual budget, the oversight of the monetary framework, including setting the inflation remit, and liaison with the Governor of the Bank of England on monetary policy. Women in the economy and the gender pay gap, UK growth and productivity, including working across government on skills, labour market and migration, the National Wealth Fund, capital markets and listings, economic security and resilience policy, leading on international economic and financial affairs, including at the G7 and G20, and acting as the UK governor of the IMF, EBRD and the AIIB. Ministerial arrangements are in her role as Second Lord of the Treasury. The Right Honourable David Lammy MP holds the post of Secretary of State for Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs. The Secretary of State has overall responsibility for the FCDO business, including overarching responsibility for the departmental portfolio and oversight of the ministerial team, Cabinet, foreign policy in the National Security Council, strategy, intelligence policy, and honours. The Right Honourable Yvette Cooper MP holds the post of Secretary of State for the Home Department. The Secretary of State has overall responsibility for all Home Office business, including overarching responsibility for the ministerial portfolio and oversight of the ministerial team, Cabinet, the National Security Council, public appointments, and oversight of the Security Service. The Right Honourable West Streeting MP holds the post of Secretary of State for Health and Social Care. The Secretary of State is responsible for the work of the Department for Health and Social Care, including overall financial control and oversight of the NHS delivery and performance, and oversight of social care policy. The Right Honourable Bridget Phillipson MP holds the post of Secretary of State for Education and Minister for Women and Equalities. The Secretary of State is responsible for the work of the Department for Education, including early years and childcare, children's social care, teacher quality, recruitment and retention, the school curriculum, school improvement, academies and free schools, further education, apprenticeships and skills, and higher education. The Minister for Women and Equalities has responsibility for promoting equality of opportunity for everyone and reducing negative disparities, strategic oversight of the government's equality policy for women, ethnicity, disability, and LGBT+, overall sponsorship of the Social Mobility Commission and Equalities and Human Rights Commission, overview of the overarching equalities legislative framework, and overview of the overarching equalities legislative framework. The Right Honourable Joe Stevens MP holds the post of Secretary of State for Wales. The Secretary of State is responsible for the overall strategic direction of the UK government in Wales. Responsibilities include missions lead, constitution and legislation, economy and fiscal, steel and tartar transition board, energy and climate change, justice, free ports and investments, zones, structural funds, home affairs, policing, immigration and security, transport, sport, foreign affairs, i.e. liaison with ambassadors and foreign dignitaries, honours and public appointments, and research and development and innovation. The Right Honourable Ian Murray MP holds the post of the Secretary of State for Scotland. The Secretary of State for Scotland is the UK Government Cabinet Minister representing Scotland. They act as the custodian of the Scottish Devolution Settlement, represent Scottish interests within the UK government, and advocate for the UK government's policies in Scotland. They also promote partnership between the UK government and the Scottish government, as well as relations between the UK and Scottish parliaments. The Right Honourable Hilary Benn MP holds the post of Secretary of State for Northern Ireland. The Secretary of State has overall responsibility for the ministerial work of the Northern Ireland Office. The Secretary of State leads on engagement with the Northern Irish Executive, focusing on the Department Office, focusing on the Executive Office, the Department for Justice, Department of Finance, and Department of Agriculture, Environment and Rural Affairs, DEFRA. Political stability, relationships with other governments, implementation of the Windsor Framework, legacy, economic growth, national security, and work to ensure that Northern Ireland is fully engaged in the development and delivery of new government policies, especially the missions-led approach. He also has a responsibility for the Northern Ireland Office's parliamentary activity. Thank you all very much for watching. The next episode is about the opposition. Bye.